The rain was coming down cold, heavy sheets outside Brookstone Elementary School, a modest school in a low-income neighborhood in Detroit, Michigan. Standing by the iron fence, a small girl in an oversized hoodie clutched a worn-out notebook. Her shoes were soaked, and her eyes held a quiet hunger, for warmth, for books, for belonging. Inside the building, Ms. Emily Grace, a seasoned public school teacher known for her compassion, was gathering her things when she caught sight of the child through the glass door. She walked outside, holding an umbrella. "Are you lost, sweetheart?" she asked gently. The girl looked up, shivering. "My mom says schools like this aren't for people like us. We're just trying to survive." That single sentence sank deep into Emily's heart. She held out her hand and said with a soft smile, "Then let this be the first place you do more than survive. Come on in." That rainy afternoon, a door opened, not just to a school, but to a whole new world. Inside the school, there were other girls who sat in classrooms but rarely spoke. Girls who were present, but never truly seen. Sophia, a refugee from Syria, whose family had arrived in the U.S. 2 years ago. Her English was broken, her confidence even more fragile. Aaliyah, orphaned at the age of 6 in a car crash, raised by an overwhelmed foster system, shy and silent in the back row. Naomi, her father was incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit. Whispers and judgment followed her like a shadow. Ms. Grace saw them. Not just their names on the attendance sheet, but the weight they carried. Her classroom wasn't just a space for algebra and essays. It became a shelter. A safe place to breathe. One day, during a group project, a student made a joke. "Hey, is Sophia even allowed to be here? Maybe she left her green card in the desert." The class burst into laughter. Sophia didn't say a word. She simply got up and walked to the restroom, locked the door, and wept. Emily found her moments later, gently knocking on the stall. "You okay?" she asked. Sophia came out, her voice barely a whisper. "I don't belong here. They all know it. I don't speak like them. I never will." Emily knelt to her level, eyes kind and firm. "Sophia, you belong everywhere. You carry stories in your silence. One day, your words will change lives." From that day, Sophia began to find her voice, slowly but surely. Just weeks before high school entrance exams, Aaliyah fell ill with a severe case of the flu. She was hospitalized, weak and feverish, told she'd miss her exams, and likely lose her scholarship chances. But Ms. Grace wouldn't let that happen. She visited Aaliyah every evening, bringing assignments, video lectures, even practice tests. She rewrote lessons so they were easier to absorb from a hospital bed. When the results came, Aaliyah had not only passed, she had ranked in the top 5%. When she hugged Ms. Grace, sobbing into her shoulder, she whispered, "You didn't just teach me. You believed I was worth teaching." One afternoon, Naomi stayed behind after class. "Can I ask something?" she said. "Does where I come from mean I'll always be judged? That I'll always be the girl with the criminal dad?" Emily walked her to the window and said, "Your past is a page, not your title. You're not the daughter of a crime. You're the author of your own story." That night, Naomi went home and wrote in her journal, "I want to be a lawyer. I want to be the reason someone else gets justice." Years passed. The girls moved on to college, Sophia in international relations, Aaliyah studying nursing, Naomi majoring in pre-law. Meanwhile, Ms. Grace's vision began to blur. The diagnosis was serious, progressive cataracts that required immediate surgery. Without it, she'd lose her sight. But the operation was expensive, and she quietly began preparing to retire early. Then came a knock at her door. Sophia, Aaliyah, and Naomi stood there, holding an envelope. They had raised the money, through scholarships, side jobs, and whatever they could scrape together. "You gave us sight when we were blind to our worth," Aaliyah said. Now it's our turn. At her retirement celebration in Ann Arbor, the auditorium was filled with students, parents, and colleagues. But the real tribute came from three young women standing at the podium. Sophia, now working with the UN. Aliyah, a pediatric nurse at a leading hospital. Naomi, preparing to take the bar exam. Naomi addressed the crowd. We were the invisible girls, the overlooked, the doubted. But she didn't see what we were. She saw what we could become. Ms. Gray stood, teary-eyed. I opened a door. You built the house. And now, you're the light shining from its windows. This isn't just a story about a teacher. It's a story about the power of one heart to change many. Because education isn't just what you learn. It's who sees you. Who lifts you. Who tells you, you belong.